And we'll take you inside the classroom with a look at how some Muncie students are challenging the norm.
And it's been a rainy Tuesday. How long is that rain going to stick around? I'll answer that tonight in weather.
From Ball State Unified Media, this is NewsLink Indiana.
Good evening and thanks for being with us. I'm Tony Sandlaven.
And I'm Zoe DeWiggins. Welcome to NewsLink Indiana. It's been 1 month since the car accident near Gaston that killed 3 people.
Developing tonight, that crash has claimed the life of a 4th victim. NewsLink Indiana's Sarah Lehman is live in the newsroom with the update. Sarah?
That's right, guys. Benjamin Parsons, who's a Muncie resident, died today in an Indianapolis hospital. An accident report says Parsons was taken by ambulance to IU Health Ball Memorial Hospital and later flown to Methodist Hospital in Indy. Parsons was the driver of the car that was hit when Joshua Hartley crossed the center line going southbound on Wheeling Avenue. Hartley and the front seat passenger of his car, Matthew Cass, were both pronounced dead at the scene. And the next day, another passenger of Hartley's car, Lydia Astrop, died of crash-related injuries. Now, with Parsons' death, the only survivor of the crash is Hartley's twin brother, Jacob Hartley. But he is still being treated at IU Health Ball Memorial Hospital and is in serious condition. The cause of the accident is still under investigation. Live in the newsroom, Sarah Lehman, NewsLink, Indiana.
New tonight on NewsLink, lawyers have decided not to attempt to throw out the confessions from Manuel Orrego Zavala. Orrego Zavala is the man responsible for the accident that killed Indianapolis Colts linebacker Edwin Jackson and Uber driver Jeffrey Monroe. The defense was initially arguing that the man's confession should not be used as he was not read his rights. Orrego Zavala faces 4 felony charges.
The National Weather Service in Indianapolis has been traveling around the state offering free storm spotter training sessions. And tonight, one was held right here in Muncie.
Attendees learned about previous weather events in Indiana, compared radar images to photos taken outside, and learned weather vocabulary. The process of issuing severe thunderstorm and tornado warnings and what happens during one was also discussed.
In the case of tornado warnings, the majority of those that we issue are usually based on what we see taking place on radar. We have an environment supportive of tornadoes. We've got strong rotations showing up on radars. We feel that the next step is likely this storm becoming tornadic.
If you missed tonight's session, there's one tomorrow night in Henry County at 6:30 at the Newcastle Henry County Public Library. Now, along those same lines, Ballant, what have you got for us coming up in the weather this week?
Well, thankfully, we don't have any tornado warnings in store. Rather, we do have a flood watch in effect all the way from the I-74 corridor all the way up through the Interstate 65 corridor. Anywhere to the west and southwest of that is under a flood watch all until 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. Now, with all the rain we've been seeing here throughout the day, I wouldn't be surprised if this gets shifted further up to the north near Delaware County and throughout our viewing area. And that's due to that substantial rain we've seen throughout the day. Within the past 3 hours, we've seen some heavy patches work their way through. We're still seeing some rainy conditions here. However, there's some clearing conditions further off to the northwest. On the bigger picture, though, take a look. This is our upcoming system. Note the northeast movement of this system. As the evening progresses, we're going to see all this rain working its way currently through South St. Louis. That's going to work its way further up north, and that's going to bring us more rain through the overnight hours. All the way up until midnight, you can see rain still sticking around in the region. And then coming up for the next 8 hours, we're going to see mild temperatures still sticking around despite those rain chances, 50 degrees by 1 a.m. And then for my full forecast, I'm going to be breaking down how long that rain is going to be sticking around. Also, some above average temperatures are in store, and I'll have that Easter forecast coming up in my full weather in just a few minutes.
All right, thanks, Ballant. It's been no secret Muncie Community Schools has had its struggles. The district is facing an $11 million deficit. An Indiana senator even referred to it as a cesspool. Through all this, the argument has been that while the finances are in trouble, the academics are fine. But one program at Muncie Central High School would argue the academics are not only fine, they're exemplary. The typical sounds of high school. The bell rings and students head to class. Not all of them go to just work on a high school diploma, though, at least not at Muncie Central High School.
We study where you've been, where you want to go, and how you're going to get there.
Khalid Reichert oversees Muncie Central's early college program, the 4-year program that this year will see its first graduates leave Central with a high school diploma and an associate's degree.
Yeah, you need to put the month and then
While helping students complete a college degree is Reichert's main job, he also tries to help them advance in other ways.
Mr. Reichert's been a huge help, honestly. He's been a best friend. He's a teacher when he needs to be. He's a leader when he needs to be, but he's also a best friend.
Alana Campbell is one of the students getting an associate's this year. She's part of a group of students that keep busy, to say the least.
So I have the capstone engineering course, and then AP Econ, AP English, Literature, AP Calc, Wind Ensemble, so band, Independent Study, AP Physics, and then AP French.
Kelby Stallings will also be getting an associate's in May, but she also is a Lilly Endowment Scholarship winner who plays basketball and tennis, is in the school's most advanced band ensemble, and does several other extracurricular activities. Reichert hopes these early college students can take what they've learned in the program and go on to bigger and better things.
They're making such important life decisions as freshmen and sophomore in high school. Who are they going to hang around with? What are they going to do with their free time? Those things just set so many wheels in motion in their life. So I just love reaching them at that age and just giving them an alternative.
Alana Campbell says she plans on attending Ball State next year to study criminal justice. Meanwhile, Kelby Stallings has not yet decided where she will attend college.
An Anderson fire station is dealing with a different type of evacuation. We'll have the details up next.
And find out how you and the family can get out and enjoy some fun, all after the break.
Oh! Checking your fantasy league?
Nah, just my 401k statement.
Nice. Where'd you find the money for that?
I just been saving a little every month.
I can't seem to save anything.
Well, what about all this? What about the money you're spending?
What money? It's gone before I can get my hands on it.
I got a pizza for a Todd.
Hey, can somebody spot me?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind.
It's 547.
Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
So I've come up with a family emergency plan.
Great. What is it?
It's difficult to talk about, so I'm not telling you.
How will we know what to do?
You won't.
I'm so glad I won't have to remember anything.
And me too. Thanks for this, sweetie.
Talk to your kids about who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Visit ready.gov/kids for tips and information.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. We're learning more new information to a story we brought to you on Monday.
Former Michigan State University Dean William Strample has been charged after a state probe in the handling of the Larry Nassar sex abuse cases. He is accused of asking for nude photos from at least one female student. His work computer had around 50 photos of female genitalia, nude and semi-nude women, sex toys, and pornography. Prosecutors believe that many of the selfies on Strample's computer were of MSU students. Strample's arraignment today, his attorney says Strample denies that he engaged in any wrongdoing. Strample was dean of the Michigan State College of Osteopathic Medicine, who supervised Nassar. And new developments tonight in the 2016 shooting death of Alton Sterling in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Prosecutors announced today that they will not file charges against two police officers involved. Omar Jimenez reports on the decision and how Sterling's family is responding.
The Louisiana Department of Justice cannot proceed with a prosecution of either Officer Lake or Officer Salamone.
Louisiana Attorney General Jeff Landry announcing no charges will be filed against 2 Baton Rouge police officers in the 2016 shooting death of Alton Sterling.
This decision was not taken lightly.
It resembles what federal prosecutors decided back in May of 2017, which included that the video evidence couldn't prove or disprove the officer's claim that Sterling was reaching for a gun.
You saw the videos, but they said they didn't see nothing wrong. I can't understand it.
Almost a year later, after this latest decision, the family still feels shorted on justice.
People out there are getting smarter. We know that to hold you accountable is to get rid of your job if you're not going to step up.
They took a human away. They took a father away.
Sterling was a father of 5 and 37 years old when he was shot and killed outside a convenience store in July 2016. Cell phone video showed him pinned to the ground by the officers before he was shot.
For all the people that said that Alton Sterling was a bad man and he should have been killed, shame on y'all for that.
The Baton Rouge police chief says there will be a disciplinary hearing later this week for the 2 officers in this case. Afterward, he says they'll be releasing all the information they can under public records law. And Sterling's attorneys say that unseen video will soon be released. Video they say will leave the community, quote, outraged. I'm Omar Jimenez reporting.
A fire station in Anderson was shut down Monday to allow exterminators to deal with an infestation of bed bugs and ants. The issue was discovered at the city's fire station 7 last week. The fire department was forced to move their trucks to other locations to continue service as usual. According to the Anderson fire chief, the station is expecting to reopen this weekend or early next week.
Well, if you're looking forward to getting out in these warmer temps, Muncie's Minnetrista is hosting their annual Family Adventure Day tomorrow. The Community Involvement Center will have lawn games, arts and crafts, and other adventures around the area, all free of charge. Reptiles and other animals will also be available for petting.
We're definitely trying to get the community involved as well. So we're partnering with Ball State, Mountain State Park, and other places around Muncie area to really bring the community together.
Again, the event will take place from 10 a.m. until 7 p.m. tomorrow on Minnetrista's campus. Meanwhile, Valen, are they going to have some good weather to look forward to at that event tomorrow?
Well, we've seen rain throughout much of the day today. We could see some clearing conditions start to set in tomorrow morning. I'll have details after the break.
Can you help me with this? My new dad teaches me all kinds of stuff.
Sure.
He helps me with homework.
That would be 3.6795.
Thanks.
Yep.
He helps me with my decision making.
I wouldn't use this one. Ever.
And he's even teaching me how to drive.
And that's why cars have bumpers.
I'm learning so much.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
They're coming. Places, everybody.
Light check. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Everything looks good on our end.
And lights.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Don't wait. Communicate. Make your emergency plan today.
Of all the things you've done with your bike, donating it to Goodwill may be the most incredible of all. Your donations help fund job placement and training for people in your community, which means your stuff can be more powerful than you think. Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. Now, I feel like we have really experienced all of the seasons in the past few days. I mean, the temperatures have been up and down, and then Saturday, a lot of areas around here got all that snow, and then today was pouring rain, but the temperatures weren't bad, and it's confusing.
Well, I'm sensing a little bit of a theme, at least for this week. Rain in the forecast yesterday, rain in the forecast today. I'm assuming rain in the forecast tomorrow. So, rain. Did I just do your job?
To say the least, but you're still missing the minute details of the
All
timing
right, well, that's why you're
and
here.
the bigger picture. But more currently, though, we are under a flood watch. This doesn't include our viewing area. Rather, it includes areas along the I-65 and I-74 corridor. So anywhere to the southwest of this corridor is currently under a flood watch. That's in effect until 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. However, with all the rain we have been seeing within the past 24 hours, I wouldn't be surprised if this flood watch gets extended further to the northeast. And currently on radar, within the past 3 hours, we've seen some heavier showers work their way through in between Muncie and Winchester here right around 7:30 to 8 o'clock. But in the bigger picture, here's that look at the system that's going to be working its way through the next 24 hours. Note the northeast track of this system. So the showers that are currently occurring in St. Louis are slowly going to work their way up into our viewing area, allowing us to see some showers through the overnight hours. Currently, though, 55 degrees as you head on out the door. Southwest wind at 8 miles per hour. You can still see some wet road conditions outside with the live look at the McKinley Bell Tower. Now, for the upcoming few hours, all the way up until midnight, we'll see those showers still sticking around. Maybe some pop-up heavier pockets of rain indicated by those darker greens and yellows. However, for tonight, though, overnight low of 44 degrees, an 80% chance for that overnight rain to continue through the morning hours. And the winds are going to pick back up northeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Could see some heavier gusts anywhere up to 20 miles per hour. So let's go ahead and look at precision cast. Break down the timing through the overnight hours. You can see the showers subside all the way throughout 7 a.m. Some clearing conditions setting up behind that. So taking a look at the wider view on precision cast here, by 7 a.m. you can see the showers start to work their way on out. We're going to remain overcast throughout much of the day, and then you can see some clearer skies further up to the north. However, don't let that fool you. We're still going to see some rain returning later on in the forecast. For tomorrow, though, all in all, pretty mild, 57 degrees for the daily high with overcast skies. The winds do die back down, though, ranging between 5 to 10 miles per hour. Now, for Thursday, we're going to see showers work their way back into the region. By 4 a.m., some isolated showers working their way through central Indiana. Then by lunchtime, some heavier pockets of showers do work their way into the region. So maybe pack that lunch with you as you head out to work. You can see those heavier showers here with those yellows and some oranges too. So maybe an isolated thunder shower or two could play into the forecast on Thursday. And afterwards, by 9 o'clock, we'll just see some scattered cloudy conditions throughout. Now, in terms of rain totals, all the way through Thursday by 9 a.m., we could see anywhere from ½ an inch to 6/10 of an inch. However, that doesn't include the latter half of that previous precision cast graphic. So add about another 1/10 of an inch or so. So right around 3/4 of an inch can be expected from now until Thursday evening. And then for the 5-day rain chances here, 80% chance for Wednesday. Again, most of that's going to be through the overnight hours. And then Thursday, 70% chance. Some more rain works its way back in on Saturday. However, for the 7-day forecast, some pretty comfortable temperatures all in all. 60 degrees for the high on Thursday. Sunny skies set back in for Friday. High of 55 degrees. Coldest day in the 7-day is Saturday with that next chance of showers. And Sunday, Easter Sunday, looking pretty favorable. So take advantage of the nicer weather. 52 degrees for Easter Sunday. Monday, looking at 54 degrees, and then our next chance for rain starting next week returns on Tuesday. 20% chance for some isolated showers with a high of 50 degrees. So it's going to be nice to see some above average temperatures. The average for this time of year is 52 degrees, so that 60 degrees on Friday is looking pretty nice, I've got to say.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we do have some rain coming, obviously, and that's not always the best, but I am glad to see some higher temperatures, especially 60s on a Friday. I mean, what makes Friday better?
And I've got to say, it's definitely better than seeing snow in the forecast.
Absolutely.
That was a little much.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It definitely was.
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate the forecast, Balin. Thank you so much. Josh, I'm sure this crazy weather has had some impact on those sports schedules.
It has a little bit, but it hasn't stopped one softball player from getting an award this week, and a Ball State gymnast is headed to the NCAA regionals. Find out who those athletes are after the break.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. Those we use all the time with hardly a thought. Those that are silently standing by to save our lives. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere we go. Many mobile devices will now bring you wireless emergency alerts, real-time information directly from local sources you know and trust. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know wherever you are.
Cook foods to the right temperature using a food thermometer. 3,000 Americans will die from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
So, I got this new family, and I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy all day long. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, and she even talks to it. She talks to that more than she talks to him. What's up, bro? Nice shirt. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
You wanted to be a teacher when you were little, but things changed. Teaching didn't seem that cool anymore, so you decided to become something else. But what would your 12-year-old self say? Amazing things are happening in teaching, so it's time to put it back on your list. Don't try to convince yourself otherwise. You had it right the first time.
And welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Josh Shelton with sports. Ball State Gymnastics wrapped up the MAC championships over the weekend, and for most of the team, that meant the end of the road. But freshman Tia Kiaku isn't done yet. Kiaku earned an individual bid to the NCAA Regionals in Columbus. Ball State sophomore Bree Slonim also qualified as an alternate for vault. Kiaku finished third at the MAC championships, which helped her chances for nationals. Kiaku's mom actually texted her before she had the chance to even share the news. She believes this accomplishment shows what she can do over her next 4 years at Ball State.
Well, actually, my mom texted me, was like, I'm so excited, so she already knew, so she went home and watched it, the live screening. I think it's just a preview of how well I know I can do and how well I'm going to do in the future.
Kiaku will compete at regionals in Columbus, Ohio on April 7th. And another Cardinal athlete who's been performing well lately is softball player Asia Miles. The junior pitcher just acquired her third MAC West Pitcher of the Week award this season, helping Ball State win 2 of their first 3 conference games. Miles pitched 2 shutouts last week, allowing only 5 hits over both games. She racked up 13 strikeouts and held the opposition to a batting average of 132. Both of those performances came against Bowling Green, who led the MAC in team batting average coming into the weekend. Miles now leads the conference in wins and earned run average on the season. We caught up with Miles today, and she's had this to say about her recent success.
This offseason and this summer, I took a lot of time and a lot of effort pitching. I finally accepted the role. I think last year we started it, me pitching here and there, but this year I was like, all right, I'm a pitcher. So it's definitely rewarding to see this hard work kind of pay off. We haven't got our team goal yet, and this is definitely not my goal either, just getting MAC Player of the Week. So a championship would definitely be the icing on the cake, but it's definitely rewarding and seeing that my hard work, did pay off.
Miles and the Cardinals are set to continue their conference schedule. They will travel to play the Akron Zips this weekend. And Ball State softball might not be in Muncie this week, but high school baseball is set to start tomorrow. Schools around Delaware County are preparing for their season openers. Muncie Central is set to host Newcastle tomorrow at 5 p.m. The Bearcats and Trojans opened up their season against each other last year, with Newcastle dominating in a 15-0 win. The Delta Eagles will travel to Connorsville to take on the Spartans on Thursday. In their sole meeting last year, Delta won the game by a score of 5-1. Now, Yorktown doesn't have a game until Monday against rival Delta, but Wapahani and Cowan are also set to start this week, with both their games taking place on Wednesday. And with the start of high school baseball also brings the start of the MLB, and Sports Illustrated and myself picked this team to win, and I'll give you a hint, it's not the Cubs, it's my hometown team, the Washington Nationals.
Well, Josh, those Washington Nationals open up the season against my Cincinnati Reds, so
And
it's on.
The Reds could lose every game, but they'd win 6 against the Nationals.
Yeah, see, there you go. Well, thank you, Josh. Coming up, a reality TV star is out of prison.
And see what celebrity is going bare for her latest magazine cover here on NewsLink Indiana.
Hey, did you know 2.4 million loving cats and dogs in shelters and rescues need our help to find a home? Let's go to the shelterpetproject.org and meet a few who are in a shelter near you. Harlow. Oh, she's one great listener who loves to hear all your stories. My kind of cat. Cerulo is a sweet, goofy boy who's eager to please. Sounds just like another dog I know. So go to the shelterpetproject.org, search your local shelters and rescues, and go for a cuddle with your next best friend. Adopt.
Sure, I look cute now, but when my owner lost his job, it was rough. I was living on the street, and one night, me and this Cocker Spaniel got into it so bad, I wound up looking like an ice cream cone. I cried a little bit, but thankfully I got rescued, so I'm running, I'm jumping, all back to my old self, and I'm ready to give unconditional love, even if you put a lampshade on my head.
There's one thing you can never have sex without.
It's not something you buy.
Or something you take.
In fact, there's only one way to get it.
It has to be given to you, freely.
It's consent.
Because sex without it isn't sex.
It's rape. Consent.
If you don't get it, you don't get it. It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. Joining us now is Katie Parker for the latest in the trending. Good evening, Katie.
Good evening, guys. So the star of Lifetime's reality show Dance Moms has been moved from a federal prison to a halfway house. Abby Lee Miller had been incarcerated at the Victorville Correctional Institution since July. People magazine reports Miller will serve her last few months the last few months of her sentence at a residential house in Long Beach. Miller pleaded guilty to bankruptcy fraud in 2016 after prosecutors say she hid nearly $800,000 worth of income. She was sentenced to a year in federal prison. In her TV show, Miller trained a team of young girls in competitive dance and highlighted the social lives of their parents.
You know, I always really loved Dance Moms. That was one of my favorite shows, and it's a guilty pleasure, I'll still admit it. But I'm always excited to hear more news about Abby Lee. So.
And you know, I think it is nice that she is in Long Beach. I don't think that that's a bad way to end her prison sentence.
Absolutely.
But anyway, moving on, Christina Aguilera says it feels liberating to show what she calls her, quote, raw beauty. The singer posed makeup-free on the new cover of Paper magazine. Take a look. Aguilera told Paper that she is a natural-born performer who likes to play a role either on stage or in video, but she also says that she is now at the place in her life where she can strip it all back. However, the typically glam singer is not completely letting go of her signature eyelashes and bright lips. Aguilera also offered a tip saying women should be fearless in breaking boundaries and going against the grain of criticism.
That's pretty cool to see, absolutely. You know, oftentimes you see celebrities, they just get so drenched in makeup sometimes, and when you see them without it, they look like a totally different person.
And I think that that's a great role model for young girls in today's day and age.
Absolutely. A lot of pop stars kind of get a bad rep for giving girls a bad role model to look up to, but that's just so awesome that she's kind of telling girls to express their natural beauty.
Definitely, yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Katie. And Ballon, let's take one final look at weather.
Great. So much rain in the forecast for the 7-day. We're going to see rain stick around through the overnight hours into tomorrow morning. Then we'll see clearing conditions start to set on in Thursday, late, and then into Friday. So Easter Sunday also looking pretty favorable. Plenty of sunshine between Sunday and Monday, and some nice temperatures too. 6 degrees on Thursday. So get excited for that.
That's very exciting. I love good weather on a holiday for sure. Good time to spend with family and good time to maybe even go out, grill a little bit. You know what? Enjoy a nice afternoon for sure.
Absolutely. It's great timing for that. Well, Thank you, Ballant. That's all tonight for NewsLink Indiana. Be sure to watch tomorrow night at 9 right here on Cardinal Vision or online at ballstatedaily.com.
And be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Have a good night.